here now. Please leave. Skateboarding is a crime.
Just keep working so hard. Keep my head above the water. I know it'll be so fine. Yes, hold on, baby.
Skateboarding is one of the few real things left in this world, and we are skateboarders.
Soul of skateboarding.
Wow, we're gonna get real deep. On this hangover, I gotta go hard right now.
That's a deep question.
That's a tricky question there. You got a tricky question. Do you mind if I give tricky answers? What is the soul of skateboarding? Skateboarding happens to be that one thing that when I started doing it, I just wanted to keep doing it. It was my addiction. It was the fun toy that gave me purpose and place and belonging. I truly believe when you have that feeling that it's your soul and your passion, it's your God. So I think skateboarding is a lot of people's God. It's their everything. It's their reason for living. It's their being. It's their purpose. If they don't have it, they don't have place. They don't have popularity. They don't have reason to be alive, basically.
I don't know. But that shit's there. Being on the streets and just keep it going.
I would think that was something like some sidewalk surfing and style. Carving, riding.
To me, what drives every skateboarder is learning a new trick, whether it's learning how to 5-0 on a mini ramp or it's learning to do a switch 360 heel flip. You know, it's this sort of essence of finding that joy of progression because there's nothing like it. You know, money can't buy it.
That outweighs all the fame, the fortune, the status, having a pro model. I mean, just the feeling that skateboarding gives you of this accomplishment, you know, and once you roll away, it's like the most amazing feeling in the world. Stay back, it's skateboarding.
To most of society, it doesn't even make sense.
No one's supposed to be on this property whatsoever.
Then there's us skaters who it makes perfect sense to, where it's just another world. It's a place for you to escape, and it's a place for you and your friends to escape all together. Doesn't even make logical sense what skaters are doing, grinding ledges, jumping down gaps. I mean, it looks cool, but it also feels great, and it puts you right in the moment, unlike anything else, and it reminds you that you're alive. All right.
You still become a skateboarder when you don't fit into that organized sports mentality. You become a skateboarder.
I started skating 17 years ago. In that era, it wasn't half as common. Some kids skated, but it was just kind of a fringe activity. I don't know, I guess you were kind of a weird dude if you were a skater.
20 years ago, it was very much more a countercultural thing. You know, the people that were skateboarding were doing it kind of against society's, you know, more of an underground backyard thing.
Back then it was like, you know, there was only 5 kids in my high school that skated, and we got suspended for bringing our boards to school. Like, it was not a cool thing. Like, that's why it was cool, because you were doing something different. That's the attitude I had. Like, half the time I went and picked up my phone, I didn't want to deal with it because I didn't believe I had to. So I was just like, I just want to skateboard, and that's all I care about.
Well, shit, I might have been a serial killer or something if I wasn't into skateboarding. I might have went down that path of murdering and...
It's just kids getting raw on their skateboard. They don't need to dress up as uniforms. They can just wear whatever the fuck they want to wear. The more acceptance of drugs and all that other stuff involved in skateboarding makes more kids into skateboarding, because all that stuff, oh man, you hit this joint? Dude, we got a game to play. And it's like, man, fuck it, who cares? Let's get high. And it's like, you know, like, honestly, skateboarding, they don't care, man. This is whatever goes. It's raw. It's raw shit, and I'm down for it.
Gave it everything I had there.
think that the missing ingredient in skateboarding these days, for the most part, is spontaneity. And that's like a lot of what's getting lost, and kind of like that goes along with the soul.
Wake up and make it wet.
What the hell are you gonna do on that?
The guys that I like to see and the attitude that goes along with it is the guys that just like don't know what they're doing until they're gonna do it, you know? Don't plan anything out, because that's part of like skateboarding is about freedom, and that's where the freedom comes from.
Oh fuck, is it mine? I'm struggling. Are you filming? Size and shape of the equipment you ride and the way you no, this is bullshit. Chantry taught me any fucking skateboard, as long as it rolls, we'll ride it and we'll figure out how to ride it. You don't have to have a fucking perfect board. The way I want to skate, skate parks or mountain roads or just down the street is one long continuous joined activity, you know, like a song, you know. Okay, ask the question. Fuckers. The soul of skateboarding? Fuck. I don't know, I got trouble with that one. Soul. It's basically it's freedom. Freedom from, first of all, the static hold that gravity has us on, nailed to this earth, and second of all, from this the cops and the corporations telling us what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to act. And so it's just defiance, you know. It's defying gravity, defying fashion, defying rules and laws, and then turning that defiance into a dance.
Don't move.
Pro skateboarders are half rock star, half athlete, you know, and it's style driven, it's who you are as a person driven just as much as it's the tricks you do, you know, because there's dudes that strictly on the way that they skate go pro, not how good the tricks they are, just the way that they skate.
When you break skateboarding down, it's based on feeling and emotion and what turns you on. It's music or theater. It's what moves you.
I would back that 100% that it's an art. You could see a silhouette of a frontside flip and be like, that's Andrew Reynolds right there. I don't even need to see the face, that's Andrew Reynolds.
Whatever you think of, whatever trick comes to mind, you can just do it, so it's art.
Every skateboarder is an artist. Like, they take that board and they can make it do whatever they want. If they choose to do tricks that other artists are doing, cool, you know, that's cool. But if they choose to do something that no other artist is doing, that's pretty damn cool too. Because other artists are gonna see that and be like, damn, I didn't think of that.
You're skateboarding, you're your own person doing your own thing. You're your own artist at work. That's just something special in itself, and I feel like a lot of the people that are doing it now just don't do it for that reason.
It's like anyone can do a kickflip, it's the way you do it. It is a form of art. The reason why people would say, oh, it's a sport is because ESPN and the Dew Tour.
You know, over the last 10 years, it's people jumping in on the bandwagon, Mountain Dew, X Games, you know, all this horse shit that is not controlled by skaters, and they make what they think skateboarding is.
Skateboarding has definitely been the most meaningful thing in my life. It helped me find a way how to express myself as an individual. And Hacks has been there with me the whole time.
I mean, what's so great about Hacks skateboard spray is it fits perfectly into the lifestyle of a skater. They so needed that. Everything's against you as a skater. It's like just anything from people wanting to kick you out of a spot to simple things like forgetting to bring wax.
I use it on my butt crack.
Skateboarding is about expression. And it's about standing out.
Hacks skateboard spray. Just like a true skater, it's unique.
So if it's this big corporate company and they want, you know, do something retarded like, I don't know, like some circus trick off a building, like dance monkey dance, we're paying you this much money. You have to do that or your contract's done. Over time, as the sponsors get more corporate and they don't really care about the art, they care about numbers, the art's gonna be out the window. It's gonna be empty, it's gonna suck. So absolutely the art's getting lost, no doubt, because the more and more money we make, it just sucks, dude.
It's like the fuck-ups and the dudes with problems and the dudes that were just like either anti-social or anti-establishment. I don't know, dudes just wanted to do your own thing, you know, and didn't want to be part of anything they were told to do, you know. That's kind of what makes such a crazy eclectic mix in skating. If you get dudes that are like weird artists and just other things, and like that's why skating's an art. It's like an inner passion and drive, but there's something fucked up about it.
The dicks on the shirt, there. Just because you got dicks on your shirt doesn't mean you're queer. Just because you're doing a picture with a guy who's gay doesn't mean you're queer. And if, you know what, I'd rather hang out with a queer than a fucking jock any day. Sorry. The soul of skateboarding, what does it mean to me? It means the same thing to me as punk rock. It keeps you from murdering people, and it keeps you from breaking into house. It doesn't keep you from it, it just makes you do stuff less. Chances, trust me, it's not a cure-all, but it fucking helps. You don't know shit, I don't know shit. But from what I understand, since it's actually a living now, that's basically what kind of mood are you in today?
About that, coming from where skateboarding started.
I think it's horrific. Let kids be kids. And then when they pick it up, they pick it up.
Front side Smith grind around the corner.
It was more than an attitude. Everyone, me and you, we represent everything they hate. It's an attitude. Being drunk, loud, rude. Tattoos and fucked up hair. Living life without a care. It's a stain of surreal. Outcasts of mass appeal. Rejects of the middle class, and they're never gonna go away. Punk rock will survive. The next generation has arrived. See it in their eyes, and in their hearts.
You pick it up, or you steal one, or whatever stage of the game you were in life. Like me, I had to grab a 2x6, and my dad's roommate cut it up, and we sawed my sister's roller skates. I'm one of many.
Rejects of the middle class, they're never gonna go away.
It encompasses so many things and so many people now. Majority of these people, like, they probably go snowboarding or other things, you know what I mean? When you're a skateboarder back then, you're a skateboarder, you hated everything.
Mike, I have a question. Why are you so nervous?
I don't know, it's natural. It's what happens to me all my whole life. This is why I actually got into skateboarding. Because I couldn't talk to people. So if you want that soul shit, there it is, right there. I would go on the opposite side of the street because I knew that neighbor was going to say hi to me. So I'd walk the other side. So I wouldn't have to say hi back. So you figure that. It's been like that the whole time. I hide behind my skateboarding. Sometimes I hid so much that that's why I had that Smith grind and Smithford, because I wouldn't take a chance and try new tricks and other people's tricks. So I'd be in my own world so much. Some people used to think I was swell-headed. It's just because I just didn't talk, you know. I wasn't a locker room boy. I was just in my own thing. I do my tricks over and over. I wouldn't listen. I couldn't hear it, just like I can't hear these interviews. I can't hear the questions. So I kept on doing my thing. And accidentally it came up Smith grind, Smith vert, Smith lash. That was all because of the hiding.
It's not for the winners. That's the thing, you know? Like, skaters were the losers to normal society, but they knew they were the ultimate winners over everybody else inside, somehow.
They weren't trying to fit into that box that everyone else is trying to do and all this. They were just making their own way.
Bad influence, bad ideas, easy money, easy thrills, no exclusion, no delay. Got expenses, but you must pay. What? You must pay. What's the verdict? Till you do it. What's the verdict? Till you learn. What's the verdict? What?
Losing that individual aspect, individual defiance and rebellion, and the young punk going out and doing his own thing. I would guess that video cameras have a lot to do with that. So everybody's filming. You always see the kids out around filming themselves and trying to make themselves marketable, and it's not the same thing as just doing something to make yourself feel better. It's a completely different thing. You know, you're going out to release. but that has definitely diluted the original driving force that I felt, and many of my friends, we all shared, which was to go out and fuck shit up, you know?
I gotta call security, man.
Nah, dude, you don't.
Just fucking give it one more try.
Yeah.
Break things and break, you know, and skate where we're not supposed to skate, and skate how we're not supposed to skate, you know? I don't know, I mean, just like the thing about mongrel pushing, you know? I have mongrel pride.
Mongo?
Mongo. I mean, those guys are the mongrels, that mix mongrels and mongo up. But yeah, mongo, fuck yeah. Oh, don't be a shit kicker or mongo pusher or whatever. Fuck you. I'm gonna push mongo on purpose. You know, it's a little bit harder to push mongo, actually.
Not everybody skates like Andrew Reynolds or Eric Costin or a guy Mariano or even a Papalardo, whose part stuck out kind of like a sore thumb in the video, in the Lakai video, but it was still an original part, you know what I mean? He still did his own thing. And that's kind of what skateboarding, that's what it's been about from day one, doing your own thing and not necessarily fitting into the mold of what everybody else is doing.
Don't let nobody fucking tell you what to do, man. You skate however the fuck you want to skate. That's a rap right there. A Kung Fu master once told me, his name's Master Chi. He said, Peter, play your game and nobody else's. Basically, that's what I've been doing. I've been skating the way I like to skate. I've been challenging myself. When motherfuckers hate on shit like that, it's because they don't want to be caught biting other motherfuckers' shit. That's what it is. They talk shit because they can't do that shit yet. They might get mad or jealous or something like that and be like, oh, well, fuck, I don't want to bite him. But next thing you know, 10 years down the line, motherfuckers doing the same shit. So, you know, that's where the politics in skateboarding comes into. You know, that's when the motherfuckers try to be too cool guy and shit. You know, you do whatever the fuck your body will let you do, you know, excel your mind. Unleash your mind on this piece of wood, son. That's what it's about. This thing is our fucking weapon, our mental weapon. We fucking control this thing. We make this motherfucking thing work. If it wasn't for our fucking minds connecting to our whole fucking body, this shit wouldn't work as good as it did.
The soul of skateboarding means being free. No rules. Coming and going as you please and just doing whatever you want to do. Yeah, I mean, I've been skating Flushing Meadows for a long time, and over the years we've just been figuring out so many different ways to skate this place. Up until like maybe a month ago, we found a new one.
You might be crazy, but I'm insane. And all the hell you put me through to my life, your pain. I'll destroy you, 'cause I'm a wrecking ball.
The only thing that sucks about this is that we don't have a way to really keep it too sturdy.
Build you up, tear you down, and you're not around. You never saw it coming, the angle pointed at you. You said I had no feelings, but I had it once for you.
The next generation of kids, not all of them, you know, of course, but there are people that are doing it just to get something out of it. So they'll look at a magazine and see what the new hot kid is doing and consider that their competition, and then want to try to like either do what that person's doing and do it better, or do it on something better, you know?
It's just that the competitiveness is about who you know, how you're going to get there. If you speak to this guy, it might bump you, or you might look weaker. You know, the kids were young. I mean, they're young, so they're just kind of worried about how they look or their presentation to the public or their friends, you know?
Even back then, I'm gonna say 15 years ago, people didn't care so much about being sponsored. They just wanted to skate. And that was it. That's all they cared about was skating. Whereas nowadays you have kids, they've been skating 2 years and they're already ready to get sponsored. And in some cases, some of them are.
There's newer kids that are honestly coming up that are just insane. Like, I'm blown away, but you know, what are they in it for the right reasons?
They end up quitting and everybody's surprised, like, why'd this guy quit? But it was only a trend for them to begin with. They didn't really do it because they had fun doing it. It was just more or less something to add to their list of accomplishments.
You gotta understand why you're getting into things. Are you getting into it because you think it's cool? Are you getting into it to try to be somebody? Are you getting into it for the love of the game?
That core skater, sponsored or not, new board or tore up completely gum detail board, they're still skateboarding. Pat Duffy and Plan B, still skating in the rain. You know what I mean? He didn't care.
The way that I see it go bad is they'll take the money, but they'll accept all these like terms and all this contract bullshit. You have to do this, you have to like dress this way.
Kids want to get paid for what they're doing, so they would switch their own style up to make other people happy, which I don't respect. Because, I mean, if you got to change what you're doing to make your sponsor happy, then you're not on the right team. You need to get on a team that's down for you and who you are and what you fucking portray as a person. Because if you really think about getting sponsored, you get sponsored for your own style and you get sponsored for what you're doing and how you're living your life. Be yourself and you'll get to the company that you'll be happy at.
There's a lot of people like maybe not be happy, but they're trying to please everyone else. It's like, you're number one. Please yourself before you please anyone else. And if you don't believe in yourself and you can't please yourself, how is anyone gonna believe in you and respect you for what you do? I want to focus on what I'm doing and skating, and when I open up a new magazine, it's like, all right, cool, that was sick, you know. But like, you know, I guess that's the difference now, is it's just on a whole different level of the progression of how fast kids are progressing. Like, it took me 3 months to learn how to kickflip. Like, seriously, it took me a good month to learn how to ollie. You know, nowadays, 3 months, kids are like tray flipping, jumping down stairs. It's like, but I mean, I grew up in a different part of the world where skateboarding, not everyone did. There was only 3 kids in my whole high school that did it. So I grew up a little differently than, you know, people in Southern California, where it's like you got a park to skate on every single block. I didn't have a park to skate till I was 16 years old, you know, so we'd go shovel snow and skate the Tippy Canoe library ledge. That was more of what I did.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
It comes down to like, you better be in it for the right reasons, not to, you know, get sponsored or be cool or this and that. Like, some kids come up to me, oh, how do I get sponsored? Or it's like, dude, like, I didn't really think of that too much when I was growing up, but I wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like, we'd go and hang out and skate parking blocks in the parking lot and laugh about whatever and just be kids, you know what I mean? And I really didn't think about that till I did get sponsored by Beer City. And then I met Al, and I was like, well, I can maybe make a career out of this. I might move to California and see what happens. And I mean, now it's on a different level, but that's not when I started, you know? Yeah. Someone believed in me, I guess. You know, at the end of the day, someone believed in me. Al believed in me. You know, he met me with the right people and kind of guided me the right way. And it's through the people I've met, and, you know, came 20 years old, I really took it more on my own level and started, you know, branding myself and take it more of a profession. But before, like, no, I never really cared. And even today, I don't really care. Like, today we're filming, like, much as I want to get this trick, today's not working for me. Like, I want to do this as bad as you want to get this. Like, I want to see it on the video because that's what we do. But like, I know when to turn it on and turn it off. And there's days where you step on your skateboard and you have it. There's days you stretch, you eat pasta, and you think you're doing everything right, and you can't even land your tricks that you normally can do. I could be done with my whole skate career tomorrow and have to go work a normal job and be grateful for what I have. And be grateful I got to travel the world and do something I love to do and go work and still skate, and just because I love to do it.
Like I would start looking at skate videos sometimes, and you know, you compare like where you're at, and you're like, oh man, how am I gonna up that one? Or, you know, you start thinking about crazy things. And that's just me. And I remember things were financially really tough on me, and I just could not get myself to deal with the pressures that I needed to deal with. And when I got let go at Five Borough, I called up the rest of my other sponsors, and I just quit. And I quit, you know, Ezekiel and Bones, and I was getting shoes from S. And Scuba, thanks by the way if you see this. I probably should have called you or something, but I just remember making those phone calls. It felt like, I don't know, it was a real heartbreaking thing for me personally, because, you know, I never got to see my name on a board, and I tried for so long, and then all of a sudden, like, my roommate put in a video, a skate video, which I had watched like 1,000 times, but this time it just tasted and smelled so differently, because it just went back to, you know, just that whole, when I was like in high school, and my buddy was like, oh, Trilogy came out, and we're like, what? Oh my gosh, man, that was the best nollie hard flip I've ever seen. You know, Kareem doing that line, you know. It's crazy because all of a sudden, like, I started to progress again. And I was able to do all the tricks I hadn't done in so many years, because I was just like thinking about all the stupid things.
Dream changing over. There, missed it.
Dude, Mark's rad.
The soul of skateboarding, rolling, I guess, you know, rolling. If you're not rolling, you're not, it's, I don't know, but it's, hand plants aren't really rolling, because you stall a hand plant, and a stalled hand plant, there's nothing as great as that. I mean, it looks so cool when someone stops, because they're rolling, and then they do a hand plant, and then they stall, and that's cool. So I guess the soul of skateboarding would have to be rolling, but then again, there's contradictions, because stalled hand plants are so so beautiful.
The first X Games, believe it or not, Christian got first place. This is in the street. Tony Hawk got second, and then I got third. And the check that I got was, I think it was $300 or $400 for first place. And then nowadays, like, I think first place, don't they get like 30 grand or something?
We'd enter pro contests, and first, like back in the early 90s, and first place was 200 bucks. Dan, you're getting 2 grand for 11th. That hit me like so hard. I was like, that's skating. And people now, they all got caught up like, oh man, you know, I'm not making any money doing this. Like, I'm only living off like $1 grand a month, or like $1,500 a month. And it's like, dude, boo-hoo, you get to fucking skate every day.
I think there is a line starting to be drawn between, you know, the skateboarders who are artists and the skateboarders who are athletes.
In the 80s, if you walked down the street and you saw someone wearing Vans, you knew he was a skater.
It used to be like, that guy's wearing Airwalks, he's a skater. I can go talk to him right, you know, straight away.
You know, unless you had a personal beef with someone, if they were a skateboarder, you were friends.
There was like a lot of skaters for our town, but it was still like, if I went down the street, just like you're saying, and seen somebody who skated, it's like, we skate, man, what's good, you know what I mean?
Oh, you skate, I skate, like, where do you like to skate?
I just want to party all night, yeah. Saturday, Monday, Friday, yeah, I know it's gonna be so fun when your nipples are so hot again.
Well, I think the soul of skateboarding is getting together and uniting with everybody. Everyone you see, you're like, oh, let's go skate, let's make a spot, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah, for an example, like earlier, we made a spot and we had fun and shredded it.
There's still kids that skate for the right reasons, you know, whatever. The majority of skaters now, they start skating because they think it's cool. Like when I started skating, I thought it was cool, but I really was behind the idea that no one else thought it was cool. You know, like the jocks just were, which is the majority, were against you if you're a skateboarder. So it was like the skaters and the punks, like kind of like, it was like little sub niches of like the same outcasts. Even to be part of that, you know, it was more of a gang or something like that, you know. So yeah, the first summer I skated all summer, and then at the end of the summer I saw there's this one ledge / curb type thing in my suburb of Chicago, and I always saw it and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go dig in and I'm gonna go skate this spot, you know. I showed up. The very first time I showed up, who's a new guy? You're right, we don't take new guys. Took my hat, threw it on the roof. Took my board, tossed it over the fence. And I'm like, oh, great. I went and got my board. I lost the hat, you know, whatever. And just like skated to some ridicule and stuff, dealt with it. Went home and I'm like, fuck, you know what? Like, this is gnarly. I wonder if these guys would ever like let me like actually roll this shit. I'm like, fuck, I'm going back tomorrow, you know? So I go back the next day, skated. I thought it was going better, you know, like 1 or 2 of the dudes were like more cool with you. And then there's like the harsher ones that are like the leaders. I got my board snapped. They snapped my board. I fucking went home again, fuck. A week later, go back for the same spot. For sure, I'm in this time, you know? Skating along. One of the dudes in my town jumps out from behind the garbage can, from the dumpster, tasers me in the ribs with a taser. Like, I didn't even see it coming until I was electrocuted. And I was just like, bam, fell on the ground. Like, oh, got up, like all fucked up. Like, went and sat on the curb, was all bummed, you know? And then got up, skated, and skated off the rest of the session, you know? And by the end of that session, finally, the dudes are like, shit, this guy's the real deal. He's a real skater. He keeps coming back. He takes the abuse, doesn't give a fuck. He's here to shred. And that's how you weeded out the posers, you know? And that was rad. Like, I look back on that and I'm so stoked that that happened, you know? And now, like, when I see a new kid jump on his skateboard, I want to tase that little motherfucker. You know, like, fuck. So yeah, anyway, the point is that I skated, it was something special to be a skateboarder. And it's because of that that made a camaraderie between all skateboarders, which actually made for more love, you know?
All the 80s skateboarding? Well, if it wasn't for that shit, then I wouldn't be skating right now, so I'm hyped on it. Huh? Oh, all the hate?
The hate in skateboarding?
That's just for the lame people that sort of suck.
Are you haters? Fuck you.
I didn't know there was hate in skateboarding.
I trip out, man. I think a lot of these kids nowadays do wild stuff because they're raised on blogs and the internet, and they could call you a faggot or a fuck you or beat you up online. You know what I mean?
If I may hate a little bit. If you spent all day out skateboarding, like skating your balls off and went home, feel free to jump on the slap site and comment. But if you didn't skate that day, like, I don't feel like you have any fucking place on making a comment on the internet at all.
One day we were watching Mouse, and like we were watching Guy's Part or something, and like these kids had never, I won't name no names, you know, but they were like a kid that was coming up in the industry. But we were watching it, and he did a line with a switch tray flip down the 5-stair at Los Feliz, and then he does a half-cap heel flip over the table. And the kid watched it, and he was like, he just did a switch tray flip down a 5-stair. Like, it's a 5-stair, you know? And then I looked at him, I'm like, first of all, this was in '96 and it could have been a 5-stair and it would have been legit. But second of all, he half-cap heeled a table, which is 2009, and you probably couldn't do it today. You know what I mean? Not to diss anybody, but it's just that was such an amazing run for 1995 or whenever he did it. Like a half-cap heel over the table, let alone a switch tray flip, which he passed the crack at Los Feliz. But with that being said, when I grew up, I was still watching like Ban This and videos like that, which like Ray Barbie was going down the street and just doing like all these weird, like 43 tricks or like boneless tricks. This is around the same time when like questionable video and all this stuff was coming out. And not once did I watch it and go like, man, like he's skating like flat ground. Like that's not cool. But that's like what's changed, you know, is when I grew up, I could watch all of skateboarding and understand that like this is the past and this is like, it's still raw, and like I'm watching it because it's just a dope video that gives me a dope feeling to go skateboard. I'm not watching it to analyze what tricks they're doing or like if it's not up to par with today. And that just was kind of like, to sum it up, like where skateboarding has come to the point. we're definitely getting torn apart, you know, and it's a lot of like, you're hip hop, I'm rock, or I'm emo and you're this, or like, I could watch Corey Duffel skate and be like, that's dope, you know what I mean? Or like one of my friends is Garrett Hill, you know, he did the tray flip 50-50 with the black and red pants. And everyone's like, why was he wearing black and red pants? Like, it's so disgusting. And it's like, look, like, he's just doing it. Like, the trick was so amazing, you know what I mean? And he's such a cool dude. He just did it for that day. People, it's like they look too far into it, you know?
What happened to, if you see just a dude riding a board, you're like, right on. Like, you're skating down the street and you see a dude with a board and you're like, yeah, like, he's doing it. He knows what it's all about. That guy's know what it's all about.
As time's kind of gone on, I'm sure, like, with kids, it's still like that, you know, like, I skate, you skate, cool. But as you get older, that unity is just kind of like broken. It's like not cool to do that anymore, you know what I mean? It's like there's this really image-based industry, and everyone is so concerned about having this good image, this cool image, and like, you know, looking cool all the time. And it's like, dude, who fucking cares?
Oh, here's Larry. Feels better already.
At the end of the day, if you're doing something you love to do, you can't please everybody. So like, you're gonna have people that are gonna hate on Sheckler because he had a TV show or he did this move or made this move, whatever. Like, if you're doing something you love to do and you have heart and soul in what you do, who cares what anyone else says? That's how I feel. So like, I don't really follow the politics so much. Once in a while, I'll open a Thrasher and check out the trash section and just kind of like laugh about whatever. But it's like, I'm that type of person like, oh, this dude's this guy's that. No. Like, I don't really care.
You're still a skater, no matter what. You still skate the same things and you're still a skater, you know? And to me, no matter if you're Tony Hawk or you're Andrew Reynolds, if you're Ryan Sheckler or Bam Margera, you're still a skater.
Yeah! Once you incorporate the ollie and the evolution of street skating and the sort of incorporation of things that weren't built originally for skateboarding that were adapted to be skatable and used beyond what their original intention was, that to me is the soul of skateboarding. Everybody goes through the same progression of being a young, spoiled skate brat to growing up and sort of realizing that skating can be whatever it is and can be many things to different people. When you're younger, we kind of have this feeling like it owes us something, or that we are skateboarding more than somebody else that just skates his local skate park. And as you mature and you grow older, a lot of the common things that sort of unite us as skateboarders is what ultimately rises, rather than the petty bullshit on who's doing what.
If anything, it all comes down to the point where skaters are skaters. We don't give a fuck what the fuck homie's doing. As long as he's riding a skateboard, homie's cool with me.
And that's why that unity, it's so special. And I feel like we can't lose that. If we lose that, skateboarding loses a big chunk of its heart if we lose that. It doesn't matter who you are or what you look like. You just got to do it and not care and just be supportive of everyone. You know, everyone goes through different things, and just skateboarding saves everybody in the end, you know.
It's gonna be sick because people are gonna start skating it. Yeah. So it just drops here.
bone. Fucking hell, dude. How am I gonna look at that? Dude, I just fucking rashed myself good on the shoulder.
I didn't care about like the coolness of being a professional skateboarder. I cared about, well, I just want to skate every day and I want to travel and I don't want to work and get opportunities to do that. And then like suddenly those opportunities start to fade and you get another opportunity and it's not the one you wanted, but you can continue to live the lifestyle you want. It's very tempting, you know? Selling out is just doing something that you know you don't support and know you wouldn't do if it wasn't for the money. That's all selling out is. Pretty much, if you ask any skater there is out there that you think sold out or is selling out, if you ask them, they'll say no. And I've tested my own limits on it. I've done things where I didn't think I was selling out at the time, and then after I did them, I'm like, well, shit. I think I just sold out on that one. That was weak, you know? Like when I was riding for Power, which was a shoe company that paid me pretty good. And I justified it all kinds of different ways, you know? They weren't owned by skaters. They weren't run by skaters, you know? But I'm like, okay, well, they seem willing to work with me and I can design something cool. I try to find ways to justify it, you know, whatever. But in the end, I still didn't feel that comfortable with it. If it's a lot of money and you accept that and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it for the money, then it's only fair to be hated on. Some of the hate's there for a reason, you know? So as one body, you know, skateboarders, skateboarding, we gotta keep each other in check, you know? Like if skaters fuck up and doing the wrong thing, you can't just be like, oh, that guy sucks and talk shit behind his back, you know? Tell him to his face that he's fucking up, you know? Try to show him the light, you know, because that's the only way. By sticking together is the only way we're gonna make something that's cool. Make something that you want to be proud to be part of.
I just tripped out on how it went from being cool to be an individual and cool to like doing your own thing on a skateboard to not cool. And like, if you're not doing this and look like this, then fuck you. I don't know, man, a wicked nightmare happened to me. I tore my knee up in 2000. I got my surgery in 2001. I came back into the skate industry because I kind of was out of it, sitting back, and I was so bummed. I told all the magazines, stop sending me mags. I don't want to see them. I just want to get better. It's like torture. I called it skate jail. I wanted to skate so bad, but I was in jail. I couldn't do shit. My knee was all fucked up. And I swear, when I came back skating and looked in the magazine, all of a sudden it was like they completely just ignored and forgot about everyone last year. It was just all these new dudes. I'm not gonna name names. You know, they're everyone's favorite skaters now, but they were like new dudes at the time. And like, I was just like, wow, you know. I was stoked for them, but then I was tripping on how like, there was no room for any of the other dudes no more. And I'm hearing all my homeboys are losing sponsors, you know. I just think that the industry took away longevity. The industry took away fucking loyalty.
There is no loyalty in skateboarding, at least amongst the being sponsored into things. For the most part, you ride for an owner of a company. In a lot of cases, the owner doesn't ride a skateboard, he doesn't skate. All they know is you can make money off of it, and it's an investment for them. But as far as the person's individual well-being, they don't care about it. You're just highly expendable at the end of the day. They'll use you up for everything you're worth and then replace you with someone younger or even older that's cheaper or less expensive to maintain.
It's one thing if they're not skating and they're old and they're done skating and it's not even an age thing. But if the guy's skating and he's not marketable, he'll fucks up with your marketing company. What's up with your marketing dude? That's who I think could fuck off is the marketing guy. Because you can market a piece of shit. You can market a puppet. So these guys are fucked up. And that's what's happening to our legends. We're running out of heroes, dude. Andrew Reynolds probably the last hero for our generation. I mean, there's always been names and they've stayed relevant, like Tony Alva's still the man, Tony Hawk, all those dudes, Cab, everybody. You know, those guys are OGs now. And it's like kids don't even know who fucking Tom Penny is right now.
People know why they should skateboard, but it's just like, it's gotten so big that it's just at a weird place, you know? But a lot of people, I feel, they still ride the skateboard for, like we said, like the soul of it, you know, just to go and ride it and ride off a curb.
You know, obviously it takes money to make skateboards. You know, you got to do that thing. Once like Gatorade and like, you know, all these big companies started getting involved in skateboarding, it just like kind of ruined it. Like, I don't know, people didn't have the sense of judgment as they do, you know, back when they just wanted to like do an ollie in the street.
What made skateboarding get big and become a very profitable thing to be involved in is opportunity.
I mean, our group of guys were the first guys to show the world that people can make money doing this. That was very, very horrible at that time, to want to say, I'm not giving this toy up and I'm gonna figure a way to make money at this. The guys before us think we were whack. We probably are. There's a lot of things about it that make me feel whack.
This is me on Power Edge when I was younger. Still doing the same tricks the last 30 years.
Swine. Skateboarding is getting older. And as it gets older, it grows, matures, and morphs into new things. I had to realize this is what I like to do, and it morphs. So when I, in the 90s, was told by all the people that gave me money, we don't have any money for you because no one wants you, street skating's popular. I didn't just get pushed out, like a lot of guys just quit or left because all they could do is kind of go back and forth on a half pipe. I had already learned, I just like skateboarding. I was always a fan of it, so at that point I became a fan of the Mark Gonzalez's, and I wanted to skate with Mark. Could I be the best dude or the most popular guy? No. But I could be involved and still skateboard with dudes that are doing new rad stuff. Mark Gonzalez moves me as a skateboarder. Some of the guys that have the most money in skateboarding might not move me. And I can say that about myself. Younger guys put me in a position where, oh, you're the guy that we like. The only reason they liked me is because I was put in that position of money. And they could see it. I think there's guys way better than me. You know? I know there, and I don't think, I know there's guys way better than me. I did the right things, or was in the right place, or we did all the things that you wanted to do to get there and be put in that position where they can pick you and go, man, you're the one that makes me want to skate. I want to do, be like you, or blah, blah, blah. And that all comes from money. But one or two of those dudes had to not care to go do it in the beginning. And those guys usually are the guys that aren't accepted by the crowd in the beginning. I mean, I hate naming names because I don't want like names to kind of come out in things, but Jamie Thomas is a great example of not being accepted by the group of dudes and paved his own way. And as soon as he paved his own way, all the accepted dudes were like, he's the man. Why? Because he made money. Chad Muska did it, Eric Costin, you know? I wasn't accepted by the dudes, that's why I tried so hard, you know what I mean? Like, Tony Hawk doesn't feel like he's accepted by the dudes. I mean, you know, it's endless. What we battle to have this untangible thing. And we set up all these like, this is how it should be, or this is what it is. And we all do that to try to like have power or position or whatever over others. If Mark Gonzalez never made a penny in skateboarding, we would never seen him. We never would have been exposed to what he did, or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Mark skated parks back in the day. We saw him. He used to come to my house when he was a little kid, skate. I was like, whatever, you know, some kid trying to skate. I took him to the bus stop one day. He popped out of the car and rode down the street like he was riding a pool. And I was like, what on earth is that? And other people saw that and said, hey, Alva was like, come ride for Alva. Boom, Mark's with Alva. People start seeing him. It's no different than the Proactive commercial or the really bad cross your heart sweaty thing or whatever it's called. What is it? I don't think there's anyone that thinks that's awesome. You know what I mean? We don't have to point out that that's whack. Like, there's no one that thinks that's awesome, except for the few 1,000 million girls that think Ryan Sheckler's cute. And nothing's wrong with that. dude's making money spraying his armpits in the air. Like, how hot is that? It doesn't ruin anything about skateboarding to me. It's like, it is punk. It's like taking those dudes' money. I'll take your money, great. Give me go for it. That's great that a skateboarder can make money out of it. You know what I mean? That is fantastic that somebody from our community can make money from that kind of stuff. I honestly believe that Ryan and what he's doing and how kind of alienated he is from this group, he is what we all are trying to be. The dude that's alienated from the group because we don't like any of that, that's horrible, whatever. Like, and then all of a sudden we get into this collective group that thinks the same. Like, who are we rebelling against? Who is skateboarding rebelling against? It's like the whole society is supposedly rebellious. My grandma has getting tattoos. Like, crazy, super crazy. I mean, it's not. The act of skateboarding is the only thing that separates you from the dude that can beat up someone, the guy that can cuss more, the guy that can get more chicks, the guy that can get more tattoos, the guy that acts tougher, whatever. The act of skating is the only thing that separates you. The act of skating is the only thing that's gnarly.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You have endorsements for people like Ryan Sheckler and P-Rod, but for the most part, you know, those guys earned what they have. And a lot of people in skateboarding, it's what you make it. You know, you can do it for fun or you can do it to make money and be a pro or whatever it is. Skateboarding is how you felt when you were a little kid. The first time you stand on that board, it feels like you're moving, but you're standing still. It's like that little parallel feeling of flight. I think it's what inspires most kids to want to go further in skateboarding. I think that skateboarders a lot of times say, you know, oh, well, I'm a skateboarder, that shit's like mainstream, I'm not into that. Well, skateboarding's just as mainstream as anything else. It's up to the individual person what they do with it.
When dudes are making $1 million skateboarding, or find a way to outside of skateboarding or whatever, a kid cannot come into skateboarding without knowing that. You can't expect them to come in without knowing that or without feeling that. Parents want their kids to skate now. There's places to do it. There's rules and regulations set. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, it's just not young anymore. When it's young, I think you can relate that word soul to it. When it gets manufactured and older, soul has to be manufactured. I can still go and do what I want to do on a skateboard, how I want to do it, when I want to do it, and it will give me the same feeling that I've been looking for and I want. Can I make a living off of it? Will I sell a skateboard? Will Nike sponsor me? Would I get a commercial? Maybe not. But that's for the guys who want to do that. And if they want to do it, they better be at the top of their game, is what it's called, right? Which is just so un-skateboarder-like to us. But that's where it's at.
Ow! Fuck! Especially with the economy right now and everyone's getting screwed, like, I see it going back to the fuck it mentality, and I hope it does. I mean, I'm not making any money off it right now, so I guess it's my way of being like, fuck it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest punk rock crime of all in the year 1996, 1997, 1998, 1999.
these guys have houses and boats and shit. So, you know, now recession and now everybody's hurting. These dudes got house payment, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, car payment, good, what am I gonna do? I'm tapping into my fucking trust fund, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like, I hear people crying over shit. And most of us skaters are like, dude, give me half the money you have in your pocket right now and I'll be good for a week, you know what I mean? Like making it work, you know? Got my weed smoking dudes, they be stretching that shit, the little crumbs, they stretch it, you know? Dude wanna smoke an eighth, he's fucking putting tobacco in a spliff, fuck it.
They see the P-Rod or they see whoever and they're like, well, you know what? I'm gonna skate, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna be blinging, I'm gonna have these hot sponsors with hot gear. If you're a business owner or if you're like a investor, you know, like the point is money. When you're skateboarding, the point isn't money. If you're skating and the point's money, if the reason you're skating is money, then get the fuck out of here. Like that's not cool, you know?
If you don't like where it's going, it's like, get involved. I see Paul Zitzer, Neil Hendricks, they see that it's going mainstream and skateboarding's getting huge, but they're getting involved and they're dudes that are down to earth and have good heads on their shoulders and they can keep it tight, you know what I mean? It's up to the real skateboarders to get involved to make sure it keeps it tight. That's our obligation. Because it's getting big whether we like it or not.
There's going to be lots of things coming in, coming out, offering. How to keep it balanced is, I believe, is a personal thing. I'm just like anyone else. Like, that thing is kooky, that thing's whack, I won't do it. But it's easy for the people not in the position to say that.
As long as you're signing with something that you believe in and you're doing it right, I don't think it's a bad thing, you know what I mean? Like people say, oh, you sell out because you ride for this and this company. It's like, no. It's not, I'm selling out to ride for this company. It's like, no, we're working on something that's gonna build something and progress to the level. And with this economy, there's brands like Nike and K-Swiss and Monster and some of the, you know, brands like that are backing skateboarding, which is helping keep skateboarding alive.
If you notice, they're normally the older, more cored out, you know, I hate that word core, but it's normally guys like that who are hating because of how much they put into it. They put into some, you know, their blood and sweat and tears into something that is what I taught, you know, how I feel like it was something that was ours, it was unique. And it does feel like it's been hoarded out in some ways because, you know, to what end will we go to try to get that check, you know what I'm saying? But I think there are people who have steered away from that. And I think, you know, I highly respect those dudes. And those dudes, I think, is what keeping skateboarding still grounded, you know?
Personal balance, it all goes back. Like, to me, now, I'm like, my honor and my integrity, I think about that so much. Because I want to die with, like, feeling like I had my personal honor. And it's like, that's just a fictitious little thing that's floating in the air, you know? People are like, dude, you're being stupid. Like, what's your problem? Well, me, skateboarding is my God. And if I fucking take some sacrifices for it, then it means more to me. And with skateboarding, when you do that, it makes skateboarding more important to you.
coming. Come on, man. You don't like doing that, but I can do them easy.
The common question of where is skateboarding going might still be a mystery, but one thing that is for certain, skateboarding has changed. There was a time when YouTube and blank decks weren't a way of life and people actually supported skate shops. It is often quoted, there was a time when you passed a fellow skater on the street and it was an instant bond or even friendship just because they were a skater. But that seems to be just a quote nowadays. What really happened to that? Has skateboarding become too popular for its own good? Where is the soul of skateboarding going?
We can't blame a few select people for the problems in skateboarding, because it's everyone. If we focus our energy on all the negativity, then skateboarding certainly can only go downhill with that focus.
Remember those great sessions with your friends, getting your first board, or skate video.
That feeling of pushing down the street.
The feeling of pushing down the street.
Feeling of pushing down the street.
Feeling of pushing down the street. Always remind yourself of those feelings and never lose the raw power of passion and joy.
That is the mindset that will keep us from blending in with the society.
Skateboarding has rebelled against for so long.
Skateboarding has rebelled against for so long.
The society skateboarding has rebelled against for so long.
The wood under our feet is something that has made us feel extraordinary. Skateboarding is one of the few real things left in this fucking world, you stupid ass bitch, and we are.
We
are skateboarders.
And we are skateboarders.
We are skateboarders. It is the love and unity that will keep our skateboarding spirit strong. Not the hate and not the money.
Not the money.
And not the money.
Definitely not the money.
So let's all start making a change. Let's all start making a difference. And let's all start focusing on bringing the soul back into skateboarding.
Oh my God!
I'm Chris with A-Skate, and we are at Coleman Park in New York City, and we're holding a skate clinic for kids with autism. We travel the country and we gather families and local communities, skate shops, local kids that skate, and we just unite at skate parks and we hold clinics for kids with autism.
Peter, what are we trying to get down here? What are we trying to learn here?
Building little shredders.
Yeah.
My name's Peter Carvenin. Pretty much what we do with each kid, every kid's different of course, but what we do is we break down doors that open them to new opportunities that they usually could never do. Skateboarding's not one of those things you can just throw any normal kid on sometimes. They need a little bit of guidance, and then especially with kids on the spectrum, they really need guidance because, you know, they don't, this is something completely new to them. Today I worked with probably 2 or 3 different kids. The first one was pretty severe, like his name was TJ. He couldn't really talk, but he would mimic words, you would say. So I don't know if I said jump or I don't remember even saying jump, but he just started saying jump, jump, jump. Jump. Jump, jump over and over again, just wanting to keep rolling off of the different little obstacles that had a lip, and I would stick my foot under his board and kind of jump him up real quick, and then he'd land on the board, and he dug it. He was all about it.
Is our sales rep back home in Alabama, and we had contacted him to let him know that we were coming here, and he said he was going to have a few guys out, and he brought an entire team. He brought like 10 or 15 guys to come help today, and it was amazing. We had Rodney Torres show up. He was awesome with the kids.
Check out his ollie. He's got moves. He got the world's highest ollie, right? Ready? Straighten it a little more. You got it. Alright, I guess we'll try it like that. Just his smile made my day. He was so happy, like lit up the whole skate park with how happy he was just, you know, cruising around the park. And it made me happy, you know. I guess that's all that matters, you know? Putting a smile on these kids' faces, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes the kids take really well to skateboarding, but sometimes the kids, they just come and it takes them a while to get used to everything. There's a lot of noise involved, it's just a lot of movement, a little bit of overstimulation, but once they warm up to it, we have no problem with the kids being super stoked on everything, and half the time they're not wanting to leave at all. So it's really exciting to be able to introduce a new way of letting the kids learn balance, socialization, just interacting with other people in general. We had one kid earlier whose mom said he doesn't really have friends and he doesn't have a good sense of being able to sit down and hold a conversation with someone, but yet he was over there for about an hour talking to 2 of the skateboarders, so he made friends, and that was super exciting.
So like through what we were doing today, some kids are going to stick with it, some kids are not. It just depends on, like, a lot of the times you can't even get a lot of emotions out of the kids, or you're not really sure, but then the parents will contact us later on through email or through the phone and say, you don't understand, he would not quit talking about what he experienced today, and he's just obsessing on it and so struck by it.
Dude, did you have fun today?
Yeah.
Christian,
Did you have fun today? Yeah.
What'd you do?
I did do a lot of things.
Like what? What did you do?
Like skateboarding.
What did you learn to do?
I did do this.
How to do that?
Dude, you just did it so good. That was fun, man. That was awesome.
Turning. Turning.
Good stopping.
And did you do it by yourself?
Yeah.
Christian didn't want to do any skateboarding today. He said he was too little and it was too hard and he needed to be 10 years old. And obviously now he wants to buy a skateboard. He said he did great today and he learned how to push. What did you learn how to do? Push, turn, and he did it all by himself. And then when we were all done, he tried it without the helmet, obviously, but he wanted to do it with nobody holding his hand. So he initiated picking up the skateboard and going across the way by himself. So that's like big stuff, because Christian won't even try anything new. He likes to stay on the same thing.
You know, whether they just were great at it or not, or whether they were just rolling, or whether they were on their bottoms and just rolling around, like, as long as that kid is having fun and experiencing something new, then we're doing a great job, you know? You can't skateboard the wrong way. There's no wrong way to skateboard. As long as they're having fun rolling, then they're doing great.
My little homie right here, ripping. You don't want to, do you want to stand for a little while? You want to stand a little bit? No, I guess not. I guess he just wants to.
Let's see what you got.
Just wants to rip.
Non-stop, dude.
Yesterday I met Chris and Pete for the first time over at the Sayreville skate park. And it just touched a sweet spot in me to see a bunch of young kids out making it more aware. And you know, it's twofold. It's not just giving these kids a chance to get on a skateboard, but it's taking this underground generation, you know, these young kids that are 17, 18, 19 years old, and exposing them to these special needs kids. So, you know, Chris and Pete are giving more than just one service. There's two different services that they're performing here. They're making the awareness to these other young kids about these special needs kids. And hopefully they're going to look at them in a different light. There's going to be a different compassion. And I think that's the part that's really great. The byproduct of this whole organization of giving special needs kids a chance to skate is the exposure to all of us underground skateboarders to, you know, a bunch of great kids.
Initially, we didn't have any goals to take this nationwide, but it's just kind of evolved and there's a need, and it's such a perfect fit. Like, skating and autism is such a perfect fit that we can't not continue to travel. Eventually, we hope to get sponsorships and win some grants so that we can take this on a larger scale and travel more, but right now, we're just doing it as we can because everything's out of pocket.
Saturday, bees in the air and stuff. Happy to be skateboarding. You can go over that fence too. Oh, into the tranny. I got hit by a car the other day, did I tell you? The one time that I decided to pick up my board and walk across the street, I got hit by a car. Some car just turned right and threw me up onto his windshield. And he gets out like this. Why'd you get in front of my car? The cool part about skateboarding is you can do it however you want to do it. Look, he's doing it, and we're not doing it the same way. And we skate all the time together. Even though I'm pushing Mongo, you know? The soul of skateboarding is kind of freedom. You can go and do whatever you want to do. If you're into the side of skateboarding where it's kind of that, you know, constant progression at a certain spot, like that spot right there, you know, let's go in here. 2-minute jam. 2-minute jam. 2-minute jam session.
Yeah, J-Bone.
But yeah, bottom line is you've been doing the same thing you wanted to do since you first stepped on it. And I forgot who said it, but probably Stranger or somebody, Julian Stranger, talking about how since you first stepped on it, you've been going further and further away from your house, which I think is a really cool aspect of it.
Yeah, but I don't know, I got interested through my family, and then I met my friend Sean, and we used to skate every day after school.
Yeah, right.
I'm not the top skater ever, but I just love the feeling of accomplishing and being able to look back like, oh, yeah, I did that. And so what, like, if I'm not gonna get like a lot of money for this clip, if I'm just not even sponsored, like, I think it's good that I just have a good feeling about what I did.
soul of skateboarding. I don't know, dude. It's hard to say, but it's always been addictive. It's like once I started skateboarding, I could never stop. It's liken it to a disease or something, you know? It's like once you have it, you're not really gonna quit unless something drastic changes in your life, probably, you know? The soul of skateboarding is get yourself into it and never want to look back. If somebody comes up to me at the Channel Street Skate Park in Pedro and they're cool, you know, I'm gonna invite them to come hang out at the skate shop with me and, you know, probably be friends. The fact that they're a skateboarder is gonna make me trust them much more in the beginning, you know?
I don't feel the same amount of ownership that I once felt with skateboarding. Maybe it's that I'm, you know, moving on in years, growing up, whatever it is, but just small things like we own the streets, we own this culture, things like that. The feeling you would get when you would roll by like the Hells Angels in the East Village, you know what I mean, if they're all outside chilling, you know they own that block, you know what I mean? And you feel that feeling from them. That feeling is so strong because they've kept it that way. And I think that used to exist in skateboarding. Last weekend, some like crazy dude was at the banks and he came in and he was like threatening little kids. You know, 15 years ago, there is no way that every single person there wouldn't have immediately taken care of the situation. But because everybody's so loosely involved with skateboarding, I feel, instead of like having that ownership, you know, I feel like that camaraderie and that togetherness of the community has diminished. You know, maybe to them, that looseness is the tightness that we felt. You know what I mean? That's how I really feel about it.